You're listening to the Codependent Millennial Podcast with Sophie Shilo, episode 34, The Non-Codependent Way to Set Goals. Hello, beauties. Before we get started today, I want to invite you to give the gift of coaching this year. The new year is right around the corner, and there's no better gift than the personal transformation that is available through one-on-one coaching. If you would like to give someone the gift of coaching, or if you'd like to make your friends and family aware that they can give that gift to you as well, just visit codependentmillennial.com and click on the Give the Gift of Coaching tab in the menu for all the details. These gift packages include 3 full coaching sessions with me, unlimited email support between sessions, as well as a 30-minute follow-up session to discuss progress and next steps to move forward with all the tools you'll learn in these 3 full sessions with me. This package was designed to give you all of the tools, all of the confidence, and all of the clarity you need to move forward in whatever area of your life you feel stagnant or dissatisfied. If you'd like to give this amazing gift to someone you love, or if you'd like someone you love to give this gift to you, just visit codependentmillennial.com and click on the Give the Gift of Coaching tab in the menu for more details and for the link to purchase. Today, we're talking about what it looks like to set and achieve goals without doing so at your own detriment. This pattern of pursuing things in life at our own expense is something that a lot of us codependents have in common, but it's an extremely painful way to live, and I really want to show you another way. 2021 doesn't have to include any self-sabotage and cruelty masked as productivity or motivation if you don't want it to. So first, I just have to say, this entire episode is a product of my years steeping my brain in Abraham Hicks content. Some people don't connect with it. Some of you listening don't even know what Abraham Hicks is. But when it clicks, when Abraham Hicks content really sinks in, it is pure magic. So give it another go if you feel called to, or go check it out if you want to. There are tons of recordings on YouTube that you can find. I feel like I have so much authority on this topic because I used my goals and my ambition against myself for my entire life, really, until relatively recently. After learning how to set a goal from a place of love and desire and sufficiency and gratitude, not from a place of self-hate and fear and lack and scarcity, after learning to pursue a goal in fun and in peace and in enjoyment, rather than in stress and in attachment and obsession and anxiety, I knew that I had to share this information with all of you. It's just way, way too good to keep to myself, and that's not going to fly. So let's talk about goals. You can totally get what you want and hate yourself the whole way, like I just described, but then what's even the point? I want to remind all of you that if you're pursuing a goal in a way that is self-abusive, you're demonstrating to yourself that you don't matter, that your well-being doesn't matter, and that you and your well-being are both less important than this external accomplishment. That's not true. And that mindset will also set you up for a situation in which you achieve this goal and you almost immediately need another because, surprise, surprise, you still don't feel worthy and you still don't feel like enough. You still feel like you need something else. The best place to set and achieve goals from is from self-love, from an awareness of your own inherent infinite worth and value. That way, the goal becomes a wonderful addition to your life, not a foundational element of it. We'll get more into this later. I always talk with my clients about the fact that they deserve to want, pursue, achieve, and enjoy their desires. One more time. You deserve to want, pursue, achieve, and enjoy your desires. The reason why I talk about this so much is because at the various stages of my own journey out of codependency, I struggled to believe that I deserved to do any of those things, any of them and all of them. I didn't believe that I deserved to have, to pursue, to achieve, or to enjoy anything I wanted. Take happiness, for example, as a desire. We all want happiness, right? Pretty foundational, pretty basic, some might say. So with happiness, right before I admitted to myself that I really needed to seek out help to heal from my codependency, I realized that I didn't believe that I deserved happiness. I didn't believe that I deserved to want happiness. You guys, are you listening? I didn't believe that I deserved to pursue it, to achieve it, and to really enjoy it. I absolutely did not believe that I deserved to enjoy it if I did ever pursue it and get it, right? If you know me now, you know that I bask in my happiness and that I am no longer harboring guilt or feelings of shame around being happy and doing what I feel called to do in order to maintain that. But good God, it took me a long time to get there. I want to focus now on the differences between approaching our goals and desires from a codependent place versus from a really healthy place. The codependent way to set goals means that, get ready for a big list here. I want you to also perk up those ears and identify anything within this list that you relate to, that resonates with you. It's a good sign that you are approaching your goals and your entire life from a codependent place that will leave you feeling drained, unworthy, unhappy, desperate for more, looking for love in all the wrong places, etc., etc. Okay? So the codependent way to set goals means that you make them mean something about your worth. You use them as a condition for your own self-love and self-respect. You use them to measure yourself against others and vice versa. You use them to determine whether or not you deserve love, kindness, care, etc. from yourself and others. You measure your own self-worth based upon them and other external factors. You are unwavering and relentless, even when it means that you suffer as a result. You don't leave room for your humanity. You sacrifice your happiness and well-being for the goal, sometimes arbitrarily. You're more concerned with how others perceive you than how you feel inside. You tell yourself stories about what you do and don't deserve. You use your goals as a way to torture or taunt or abuse yourself. You approach your goals from a place of impatience, desperation, and obsession. You are concerned only with the outcome without valuing or enjoying the process and the journey. On the contrary, when you set goals in a healthy, non-codependent way, and as I'm reading out this list, I want you guys to imagine what it might be like to approach your goals and your entire life from this place, okay? So on the contrary, when you set goals in a healthy, non-codependent way, it means that you come from a place of inherent worth and self-love. You don't use the goal as a point of comparison against others. You use the goal as a method of self-development, self-discovery, and growth, not as a method of self-criticism and shame. You don't shame yourself when it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to. You enjoy the journey, and you know that it's just as valuable, if not more so, than the destination, than the actual goal. You allow others to think and feel whatever they choose to about you, and you don't internalize their opinions as your own. You know that it's not about the goal, it's about who you become in the pursuit of it. You know that the goal is not a magical pill for a better life. You know that you will still be human and experience a human life once you achieve it. That attitude, by the way, helps you enjoy it even more once you get it because it isn't handcuffed to your happiness and peace of mind. You aren't making that goal responsible for your happiness. You don't feel graspiness around your goal in its pursuit or after you have it. You believe and know that you are deserving of your goal whether or not you achieve it on your timeline. You use your goal as a way to measure where you are energetically, not as a way to determine your worth. You want from a place of peace and abundance rather than insufficiency and desperation. The wanting feels fun, not dreadful. What happens when you set goals from a codependent place is that you inhibit yourself from actually doing the things that will get you closer to achieving them because you've decided that failure is unacceptable, and of course that will clip your wings, and you prevent yourself from enjoying everything along the way. What happens when you start setting goals from a healthier place is that you start living your life for real. You start actually living from the space where experimentation is allowed because you stop making failure, quote unquote, chip away at your sense of self-worth. What happens when you start stepping into your inherent value and worth as a person is that you become someone who is capable of doing and having more because you don't need those things in order to make you feel valuable. This is me making my case for why you should try setting goals from a less codependent place than you may have last year. So now that we've talked theory, let's talk about practice. I'm giving you the 4 key elements you need in order to set, pursue, achieve, and enjoy your goals in a non-codependent way. If you haven't already gotten out your pen and paper for notes, do so now. Element number 1. You need to decide to believe that your desires are important, period. For example, you need to at least be open to the possibility that you deserve to get whatever it is that you want. Whatever you need to do in order to get there, to believe that, do that work. You have a journal open right now. Get to it. What beliefs do you have that are in the way of you believing that? What beliefs do you need to indoctrinate yourself with in order to convince yourself that you deserve to have your desires? Whatever that work is, do it. Element number 2. Feeling the way you think you'll feel once you achieve the goal ahead of time. I'll say that one more time. You need to feel the way you think you'll feel once you achieve the goal before you get it. This could also be said as the fact that you need to get to a place where the external thing is no longer responsible for your emotional state. Again, you have a journal open. Write about how you might cultivate the emotions that you think the goal will create for you now, before you have it. The goal here is to get to a place where you can achieve those emotions, that emotional state, before the goal has actually materialized in your life, before it's actually arrived. Element number 3, celebration, acknowledgement, and gratitude, whatever that might look like for you. From a place of celebration, acknowledgement, and gratitude, you'll be able to much more bravely pursue your goals, free from any shame that comes from an unwillingness to expose yourself to failure. If you are unwilling to fail, you will never, ever, ever succeed. So please just be so kind, so gracious, so encouraging of yourself along this path. I also want to remind you that celebration and acknowledgement and gratitude look different for different people on different days in different scenarios. So you might want to celebrate various accomplishments of yourself in one way, on one day, in one area of your life, and you might want to celebrate other accomplishments on another day in another area of your life in a different way. Honor that for yourself. You guys, if you haven't gotten this by now, everything I've ever talked about, if you've listened to any of these podcasts, all I want you to do is trust yourself. All I care about is you listening to yourselves. So in this element, in the 3rd element of this little quadruplet of things that you need in order to pursue your goals in a healthy way, what would be a meaningful way for you to acknowledge yourself? What would be a meaningful way for you to celebrate yourself, to show gratitude to yourself? Do that. And don't put arbitrary, cruel bullshit stipulations on it like, well, that accomplishment didn't really mean anything because this, or well, I should have done that earlier, so it's not as worthy of celebration. Enough of that. We're not taking that into 2021 with us. Leave it behind. Just please celebrate yourself for the love of God. Please, can you just do that? Okay, good. Let's move on. All right, element number 4. Acceptance that you are a human and that no goal or achievement will ever excuse you from the experience of being human. You can't bypass uncomfortable emotions with accomplishments or things. I'm very sorry to tell you. You can't bypass uncomfortable emotions with accomplishments or things. You can try. I mean, feel free to. Your life is your own. You're allowed to do whatever you want with it. But it's going to kind of suck for you when you wake up in 10 years and you realize that I was right. I'm feeling sassy today, you guys. I don't know why. But it's true. Like, you cannot bypass the uncomfortable emotions that come along with the experience of being human with more stuff, with more accolades, with more titles, whatever. You can't. Find meaning in all of it. Find gratitude for all of it. And know that your enjoyment of this goal and of your entire life, by the way, will be amplified once you accept that you cannot escape the full range of human emotion and that there is no need for you to do so. There is no need for you to do so. Something, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Something I've been working on in my own self-coaching with my clients is really challenging myself to not believe their story when they tell me that their negative emotion is a problem. When you're coaching a client, it can be very tempting to want to, it can sometimes be very tempting to believe the client's story about the fact that their negative emotion is a problem to be fixed. But the truth is that emotions are never problems. And the full range of human emotion is never really something that we need to be solving for. It's never something that we need to be fixing. Our emotions are gifts. They are guideposts. They are direction. They are opportunities to ask questions, to get to know ourselves better. I've talked about this on many podcasts in the past. And I just think that this is a perfect time in the episode to remind you all that I myself get this kind of confused sometimes. Like, I even am tempted to believe that certain negative emotions are problems, but I promise you they never are. And so if this is coming up for you, I want to encourage you to explore how your negative emotions might not be problems. What gift might your negative emotions be bringing to your life? Maybe it's this very simple but deeply profound gift of teaching you how to be a human and experience the full range of human emotion, and not let that hamper your enjoyment of life at the same time. I hope this makes sense. So I invite you to incorporate these elements into your own New Year's ritual, whatever that might be. I want to invite you to remove shame and guilt and shoulds from your New Year's goal setting. I want to invite you to see what it feels like to have goals and desires without focusing on the lack of those things in your life now, but rather to focus on the current presence of the feelings you are wanting them to bring to you. Do you understand? I'm going to read that again. I want to invite you to see what it feels like to have goals and desires without focusing on the lack of those things in your life now, but rather to focus on the current presence of the feelings that you are wanting those goals to bring to you. These are all things that completely revolutionize the way that I set, achieve, and enjoy my goals, and I so hope that they serve you as well. If you'd like to learn more about how to work with me, or if you'd like to book a few sessions in order to talk through your own goal achievement process, you can visit my website right now and click the Give the Gift of Coaching tab in the menu. There you'll be able to purchase, either for yourself or for a loved one, a gift package of 3 coaching sessions with me, complete with the follow-up call to discuss next steps and extra email support between sessions. This is a perfect place to start if you want to stop living life in self-sabotage, in self-criticism, in self-abuse, and if you're ready to really develop a healthy, non-codependent relationship with yourself, with your goals, and with everyone else in your life. The time I've spent with my coaches has been absolutely the most valuable gift I have ever given myself. And I can think of no better gift for you or for a loved one than the insights and the empowerment and the transformation that come from one-on-one private coaching. Again, if you'd like more information about this, just visit codependentmillennial.com and click on the Give the Gift of Coaching tab in the menu. This link can also be found in the description of this episode. That's all for this week, my loves. I cannot wait to talk with you soon, and I hope you have a beautiful week. If you liked what you heard in this episode, join me over on Instagram at Codependent Millennial for more tips on how to move beyond codependency and build a life you truly love.